Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. You are
Will
live.
start? Should we start?
Yes, Prabhu, you are live. You should start now.
Will you share the slides? Great. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley's Wednesday evening program. Very, very grateful for this opportunity given to me by our temple authorities to share a little Krishna Katha this evening, and also very, very grateful to all of you for having joined today for this next 1.5 hours. So, and I seek all your permission and blessings so I can try to do some justice to this seva for my own purification. We'll start with the pranam mantras. We'll start with by offering our gratitude to our spiritual masters, and then we will move ahead. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all. Thank you all once again for joining ISKCON of Silicon Valley's Wednesday evening program. Very happy and grateful for having all of you in this audience. Today, today we will discuss a little on Srila Prabhupada's glories. But before that, we will start with our Jai Radha Madhava prayers. This either we can sing and follow along, or for a change, I have a video which we can play, and while it's going on, we can sing along with it and experience the words and the sound vibrations, and try to soak them into our own hearts. With that, I'll just quickly do a share here. I hope we are able to see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. So, seeking all our Acharya's permissions, we'll start this. Oops, sorry.
Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Giridhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Giridhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar Jai Govardhan Dhari Jai Kunja Bihari
Thank you, devotees. I hope everyone was able to go through Jai Radha Madhava prayers. So today, so actually we'll start with, like, last Monday was Sri Krishna Janmashtami, the appearance day of appearance of Lord Krishna when he appeared on this earth. So we all celebrated Janmashtami at a very massive scale in ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I hope everyone remembers all of that. So the festival was there throughout the day. It was an opportunity for us to hear about Krishna in the entire day. Sorry, if I move, is my screen sharing still on? If I
Yes, Prabhu, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you. So yes. So it was a festival opportunity, and as His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu always says, I actually in the last Janmashtami also I was hearing him say that it is an entire day where we can come together and hear about Krishna, hear about his pastimes, and remember him, and meditate upon him throughout the day, and wait for his appearance at midnight. And through the entire day we fast. We use that time to completely remember and continuously hear and chant about Krishna, trying to make our hearts fertile to attract him. And at the end of the day, of course, he appears. Now the question would come as to why do we need to celebrate Janmashtami year over year, every year? It's actually another opportunity where Krishna is giving us that every year, that on this particular day, at least on this day, we come together, we can chant and basically purify our hearts and try to and make it as take it as an opportunity to allow Krishna to appear within our hearts. So as we all know, in Vrindavan, Krishna was when little Krishna was present in Vrindavan, he was he was always he was kind of known as the butter thief. So he used to steal the best of the best butters in Vrindavan. And as I heard from some acharyas, basically Krishna would go and look for the best butter and would steal it. And so even if we churn our hearts and make it clean through hearing and chanting, and when our hearts are clean and pure, then Krishna can come and steal our hearts. And that's what we would love to do. That's what is our final goal as we become, we continue in our life as devotional, as devotees in this particular life. And the good thing is, right after Krishna appears in the midnight, we celebrate when Krishna appears, and right the next day is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it's his appearance day. So the appearance day comes right after Janmashtami, and we get a chance to celebrate, remember Srila Prabhupada, and then end the day with festivities and prasadam. And we have been fasting throughout on Janmashtami, and on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day we hear from his disciples about his glories, and finally we end with a wonderful feast. It's perfect celebration, perfect way this has been set up for us for our life. Like Janmashtami will come, and Srila Prabhupada's appearance day will come, and this beautiful festival will go on every year throughout our lives. So at this point of time, on Janmashtami, on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day, I was a little thinking on myself as to how is it, or why should one glorify a spiritual master, or why should we be glorifying Srila Prabhupada, or how am I connected to Srila Prabhupada? I mean, we can see his disciples are so much connected to him. They wonderfully glorify Srila Prabhupada. They have so much connection, and they have so much love and affection for Srila Prabhupada. So how is it that as grand disciples or future disciples, coming in ISKCON for generations to come, how is that we can connect to Srila Prabhupada? And so that actually happens similar. I mean, very similar to like when you have children who are who want to stay, let's say, connected to their grandparents, but they don't know their grandparents, and they haven't met their grandparents. Then the connection won't be there. But if they meet and spend some time with their grandparents, automatically the connection develops. Similarly, to establish our connection and develop our connection with Srila Prabhupada, the best and the easiest way is to spend time with Srila Prabhupada. And the means to do that has been established for years to come through his books and through his Vani. His books have been presented, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many other books Srila Prabhupada has written and compiled. All of those books are there for us to read. And when we read those books, when we read the purports, that's why it's the divine ecstasies. Those purports are divine ecstasies of Srila Prabhupada. Those purports directly speak to us. Like I have seen on multiple occasions, might have different questions in my life, and when we are reading Srila Prabhupada purports, those purports talk and they give back answers to those questions. And that's how we start to develop, at least I want to speak about this to myself, that's how we start to develop more and more connection to Srila Prabhupada, as in the reciprocation comes to us through his books. We start to develop more and more our relationship with him gets established, and then slowly we start to understand what Prabhupada has given to us. Actually, as we went through this small video, we can see like this entire ISKCON, every temple around this world, the set of devotees, the entire family, temples, festivals, prasadam, everything on this earth, or at least as part of this ISKCON family that has been presented to us, is the mercy and blessing of Srila Prabhupada. And so we can be completely grateful to him and try to offer our or our gratitude to him by glorifying him and by reading his books and following his examples and preaching that his message to everyone around us. So those are simple ways in which we can try to establish our connection with Srila Prabhupada. Next, I was trying to do like on a Vyasa Puja day, basically so right after Janmashtami is Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja day, is the day in which he appeared. So on Vyasa Puja day, at least for devotees, there are two emotions that are simultaneously occurring. Actually, they're contradictory emotions, but they should be simultaneously occurring. One is a joy, the sense of joy and bliss, with that, oh, this is the appearance day of my spiritual master, or this is the appearance day of our Siksha Guru, and it's a very joyous feeling. But along with the joyous feeling, there has to be another emotion that is coming in, which is quite in contradiction, which is a emotion of soberity or sadness, basically a disqualification of ours, and how unfortunate our lives would have been if we were not if we did not get the mercy and shelter of our spiritual master who has saved us. So Srila Prabhupada in this case, who has saved us. So it's basically these two emotions should come together. One is of joy and bliss, that it is the appearance day of my spiritual master, or it is the appearance day of Srila Prabhupada. And the other aspect is that how I would have been in such bad state, but just because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I am in this state, and therefore feeling a bit of complete disqualification for ourselves, and seeing that how I can try to repay what Prabhupada has given. I mean, in no way we can do that, but at least feeling that presence. So in this regard, Srila Rupa Goswami in his book Nectar of Devotion, he gives there are 64 limbs of bhakti, like how we can practice bhakti so as to allow bhava or Krishna prem to develop within us. And of these 64 principles, the first one is taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So it's at the start itself, Srila Rupa Goswami is establishing what is the essence of taking, or the most important thing about taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And in the 11th one, he says that we have to have equilibrium in loss and gain. So why does he say equilibrium in loss and gain? Because what happens is, when in most cases, or in most non-devotee cases, or in most cases, whenever we are very, very happy, we forget Krishna, and whenever we are very, very sad because of too many things going on in our life and different upheavals going on, things like that, we again forget Krishna. So when we are fully happy, we forget Krishna. When we are fully sad, we forget Krishna. And that's where Srila Rupa Goswami is bringing us this aspect, that we need to have equilibrium. In equilibrium in the sense, in happiness or in grief, we have to always remember Krishna. And that's the principle or the essence of sadhana bhakti, which is to, in a simple way, which Vaishnava Prabhu always says, ARK, NFK, which is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is one of the pillars of practicing sadhana bhakti, that even in happiness or even in distress, we always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And especially on this Vyasa Puja day, we need to remember how Sri Guru has given us this opportunity to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So we have to be happy and also sober, and on how disqualified we may be, and by being in these two emotions or two modes, we will attract the mercy of our spiritual master and Krishna. So especially especially in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are very, very fortunate to be part of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, because in only here the perfect connection between Guru and Krishna has been completely established, and we clearly, Srila Prabhupada has perfectly established Guru and Krishna. That's why this movement, Hare Krishna, is called the Hare Krishna movement. It is not called the Srila Prabhupada movement anywhere around the world. Nobody will call it the Srila Prabhupada movement. It will always be called the Hare Krishna movement, because Prabhupada has very perfectly established who is Krishna, who is Guru. Guru is the one who knows Krishna and who can connect us to Krishna. And this is one of the best things that the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya gives to all of us. In general, because in India, or even in the world across these days, there are there is this confusion in the sense there is one sect of side which accept Guru as God, the Mayavadis primarily. They basically accept Guru as God. Guru is everything for them. God himself doesn't exist. It's only the Guru who is God. That's one set of people that are there. And then there is another set of people who say that they only want Krishna. For them there is no Guru. They they are also called the Sahajiyas, wherein there is no concept of Guru. They don't want any Guru. All they want is, okay, we are gopis or we are gopas, we have direct connections to Krishna, and therefore that's our thing. So in both these aspects there's a lot of confusion existing. Like one side says I only want Guru, the other says I only want Krishna. But only in a proper bona fide sampradaya it is established that there is Guru, and Guru who is a representative of Krishna, and Guru is a person who connects us to Krishna. And therefore we love, respect and serve our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, our Shiksha Guru, our founder Acharya, he's a representative of Krishna, and he is the one who is going to connect us to Krishna. And that's like a complete mature understanding of Krishna consciousness, wherein like we are very clear that there is Guru, and Guru is a representative of via medium transparent representative of Krishna, and therefore we love, respect and serve our Guru because he will connect us to Krishna. This is one of the simple principles, but it is a strong principle to understand. Yes. Now, discussing the qualities of the Guru, the Guru's main responsibility now is to always connect us to Krishna. In some cases, Guru might give our children name, might come to a marriage, or he will smile at us. But those are all not the primary things. The primary thing is that the Guru is always looking to connect us to Krishna, and that is what Srila Prabhupada has established through all his books and his lectures, wherein connecting us to Krishna at every moment of time. That's why when we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we might read many times. We see that we read in a purport, Krishna, Srila Prabhupada has nicely explained, you are not the body, you are a spirit soul, and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We are servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. And he says that, and then he repeats the same thing over and over again in many of the purports. Why is that happening? Because that again and repeatedly, if we hear that again and again and again, that automatically it starts to seep into us, and then we start to understand the principles of bhakti, and allows us to move forward in our devotional service. So now how do we establish? So through books and through lectures, we establish our connection to Krishna or to our Guru. And once we establish this connection through books and these the Vani and the lectures, then automatically gratitude develops. And when gratitude develops, then on their appearance day, we can express that gratitude by glorifying by them, and through that attract their mercy, so that we can continue further in our Krishna consciousness. And another thing which we wanted to touch upon before we move ahead is that at least I've heard this from my spiritual master, that for so Maya is always trying to keep us away from Krishna. Like when we want to surrender to Krishna, but somehow or other we get busy. At least for my own personal life, I have seen this, that we are continuously, we want to start off reading books, or we want to continue forward in Krishna consciousness, but something or the other keeps us away. And that's where this particular statement really helped me, where basically Maya for non-devotees is saying do not surrender to Krishna, but for devotees Maya says postpone surrendering to Krishna. So when we very simple. So we know we have started off on bhakti, but we keep postponing surrendering to Krishna. And when that happens, automatically we will see that over a period of time we go through our life, but somehow we have not got that close to Krishna. So the important aspect here too is to understand that we have to somehow surrender to Krishna. So keep Maya aside and surrender to Krishna. And how can we surrender to Krishna? Is developing a daily habit of starting to read Srimad Bhagavatam or read Srila Prabhupada's books, and then continue to chant our 16 rounds sincerely of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, follow the 4 regulative principles. And by doing this, we are for sure through the via medium of our Paramatma, we are connected to our Guru, and by connecting to our Guru we get his mercy, and by that mercy we can continue very, very wonderfully in our devotional service. So that's this is some parts we wanted to touch as to the philosophy behind behind how we can approach Vyasa Puja, and why do we need to celebrate Vyasa Puja year after year, and how it gives us an opportunity to remember and cultivate Krishna consciousness throughout. Now coming to Srila Prabhupada's glories. Basically, Srila Prabhupada is an example for us as to how he can in all ways. He was always like 2 primary qualities that stood out was he was always in connection with Krishna, and he was always practical. His head was completely at the lotus feet of Krishna, and his feet was on ground. So practically he demonstrated how to be Krishna conscious, and he was also philosophically fully engaged in Krishna's service. And that was stood out in various different pastimes that Srila Prabhupada did when he was in this planet with us. But one of the stories that I wanted to share today as we go through our talk today is the story about the Juhu temple in Mumbai. This is around the time of 1972, 1973. This is where when in 1966 Srila Prabhupada used to travel to go or used to walk from this big area of land towards Scindia's steam shipping company to try to get his passage to America, and he saw a big tract of land. He was always wondered that, at least as I heard, he was wondered that this would be a great place for Krishna to build a temple for Krishna. And in 1972, when he came back, like in 1965, he came to the United States, established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, spread it across multiple states in the United States, and in multiple other countries, in London and other places. And then in 1972 he wanted to establish the same thing within India, and he chose the place Bombay. And when he was in Bombay, and he saw this 5-acre piece of land in Bombay, which he thought would be an ideal place for establishing a temple to Krishna. And so at this point he met Mr. N. This is the story begins here. This is a wonderful story. I'm trying to repeat it as I heard it from my predecessors. So I will try to repeat as I take you guys through this. So this was around June 1st, 1973, or around 1973, when Srila Prabhupada saw this wonderful 5-acre land, and he wanted to have Krishna build Krishna temple here. So then he came in touch with Mr. N, who owned this property, and he was a 5 feet 3-4 inches Indian man, very nice, at least from his onset. He was good with the devotees. He liked Prabhupada, and he was also the editor of one of the major news papers at that time in Mumbai, in India. And he said that, I will give this land to you. And then Srila Prabhupada agreed, spoke with him, and came up with an agreement saying that, we are going to purchase this land from you for ISKCON for 14 lakh rupees, of which 2 lakhs we will give in advance, of which again within that, and the rest we will give in installments. We'll pay in installments to you. And for the advance payment also, Srila Prabhupada spoke to Mr. N and made him agree that we will first give 50,000 right away, then we will move in, we will pay another 50,000, and we'll have the devotees move in, and we will pay you 1 more lakh, and after that you give us the deed. And the deed will be said that this land will be owned by ISKCON, and once the deed is given, we are in the land, we will construct our temple, and then slowly over time, as installments, we will pay you the rest of the money. And this was agreed upon, and everything was nice. Mr. N agreed, and this 5-acre land was wonderful. Of course, at this point of time, the devotees in Mumbai, like all American disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they had come with Prabhupada, and they were staying in a better part of Mumbai. I forget the name. Let me see. Yeah, in the Malabar Hills area of Mumbai, they were living in the good life members' houses. So it was a very nice arrangement for them, and they were continuing on nicely. But this 5-acre land was quite far away from where they were staying. Of course, 50 years down the line, we can see that this area is grown amazingly. This is what Prabhupada saw 50 years before, that this area will be splendid in going forward, and this was a perfect place for Krishna to have his home. But at this point of time, in 1972-73, this was a barren piece of land, just some fishermen staying there, a lot of mosquitoes, and just some animals there, and a very barren piece of land, a lot of sewage, everything around. Very, very hard to live in such a place. But Prabhupada saw that it was a beautiful piece of land, and something great can come out of here. So now he wanted the devotees to move in there. But for the devotees, these were American disciples of Srila Prabhupada. For them to move into a place like this, and with nothing at all there, and starting and developing everything from scratch, was a little hard thing to move to. But they said that we'll do that. And then, of course, once this agreement was signed, of course, Prabhupada went on for his preaching mission around the world. Then after some time, of course, they paid the first 50,000, and then they paid the second 50,000. Now the devotees were supposed to move in, and once they move in and they pay the next 1 lakh, then they were expected to get the deed. So Prabhupada was following up with the devotees to see, following with the devotees to see, okay, can this be done? Like, is this happening? Like, are the devotees moving in? But he was seeing that there was a little bit of inertia in there. The devotees had not yet moved into this land. And so now Prabhupada understood that we need an efficient manager who can help do that. So he wrote up to Brahmananda Swami. Brahmananda Swami was currently in Kenya, a wonderful disciple of Srila Prabhupada, sannyasi disciple, and he told him, he asked Brahmananda Swami, what is my most favorite place in India? And Brahmananda Swami said, Prabhupada, it is Calcutta. Then Prabhupada said, no, it is not Calcutta, it is Mumbai, because Mumbai is the first place, Delhi is second, and third is Calcutta. So I want you to come to Mumbai, I want you to help establish this temple. So of course Brahmananda Swami said, Prabhupada, I'm preaching here, it's hard for me to move. But then on Prabhupada's request, he came to Mumbai, and then he inspired the devotees to move in to this land and start developing this land. Of course, there was nothing in here, it was just tents, and they had to establish their tents, and they started slowly living there and trying to construct a makeshift temple at this place. Of course, sewage everywhere, mosquitoes everywhere, rats everywhere, all the smell. But in all that stuff, that's where the initial disciples of Srila Prabhupada, all these American disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they put in their heart and soul, the complete heart, soul, sweat, everything, and their blood, everything in serving Prabhupada. So they started building it up. But of course, Brahmanand Maharaj also couldn't stay for a long time. He said that I have to go back to Kenya to continue my preaching mission, and so he moved back. At this point of time, Srila Prabhupada knew, he was still in his preaching mission, so of course he needed someone to help take that project forward. And that's when a wonderful, sweet young boy comes into picture, whose name was, of course, at that point of time, his name was Giriraj Das. Now he's the most senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, senior sannyasi of ISKCON, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. He actually wrote this entire, whatever I'm narrating, I'm just hearing from devotees and I'm narrating. But Giriraj Maharaj actually wrote this entire story in a much more vivid and more clear, detailed way in his wonderful book, I'll Build You a Temple. Please, it's again, I recommend anyone to read that book. But at least for today, we'll continue here. And so here, Srila Prabhupada asked Giriraj Maharaj here Giriraj Das, a very young, sweet brahmachari, to come and to take over this project and manage this. Giriraj Maharaj was actually the son of a very illustrious big person in the United States of America, almost very close advisor of the United States President, and a successful lawyer. At one point of time when Giriraj Maharaj actually joined ISKCON, even his father actually gave a blank check to Srila Prabhupada and said, take this and just let my son go. Of course, then Prabhupada told him that we don't keep anyone by force here. He is absolutely free to go if he wants to go. And of course, then Giriraj Maharaj said, Prabhupada, keep the check and keep me also. So that he was such surrendered soul of Srila Prabhupada. So then that Giriraj Das or Giriraj Maharaj, he was in Mumbai, stationed in Mumbai, and he was asked to take this project forward. And then, of course, after a few days, Giriraj Maharaj called up and told Prabhupada that Mr. N now is asking for 7,500 rupees more. Of course, at this point, that was the money at that in 1973. You could probably add a couple of more zeros in there. It will be that much more money. So he was telling to Prabhupada that Mr. N is asking this much money, and only then he will say it. So then Prabhupada thought, is it part of the installment? Have you already finished paying the 2 lakhs? You have already got the deed, and now you are starting to pay the installments for this. But actually what happened is, the deed has not yet come. Only 2 lakhs have already gone, and Mr. N was asking for more and more money from the devotees, because Mr. N knew these American devotees are naive, they can be played around with, and so he was trying to ask more and more. And in actuality, Mr. N, who sounded to be a nice person, was a kind of a hoodlum behind the scene. He had lots of underground, the mafia touches, and he was a big real estate agent and owner, but he was also not a very good person. His idea was to cheat the devotees, take money but not give the land, and cheat the devotees. But of course, he was dealing with a pure Vaishnava, with a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. We'll see how this story unfolds, on how the entire thing happens. As of now, still the story is pretty smooth, as I say. So here, Srila Prabhupada, so he was saying that give me 7,500 more. Then Prabhupada mentioned to Giriraj Maharaj that, okay, somehow get the deed first, and then you can start making the payments. So then, of course, Giriraj Maharaj went to this Mr. N and spoke to him, and then at one point of time he said that you will have to pay 2 lakh rupees as corporate tax. Then this was, of course, not part of the original deed, original agreement which Prabhupada had set up with Mr. N. But then he was inventing newer and newer clauses and ways to somehow not give this land to Prabhupada and his devotees. Excuse me. So he said that I want 2 lakh more, and then go and arrange, get a loan from the bank and give me this 2 lakhs. Of course, Giriraj Maharaj was trying all his best. He went even to the bank and tried to get the loan. Of course, they didn't approve the loan. Then finally, Mr. N said that you now need to get permission from the charity commissioner and charity commissioner's office. And this again, Giriraj Maharaj went to the charity commissioner's office, and they also did not give permission. And actually, later on, it came to know that both in the charity commissioner office and in the other places, this Mr. N had connections, and because of his connections, pretty much ISKCON, our devotees were not getting any leeways or any progress. So pretty much we were stuck there. And so we were already given 2 lakhs, and then when Prabhupada actually spoke to him, and he said that, okay, give me 2 more lakhs, and then another 2 lakhs was given. So 2 lakhs was given, plus another 2 lakhs was given, plus another $7,500 was given, 7,500 rupees was given, but still he did not give the deed to the ISKCON devotees. And then the lawyer who was following up on behalf of the devotees, he finally, after a long time, he also resigned from his services to ISKCON and to Srila Prabhupada. And then later on we come to know that, of course, the lawyer was also connected to Mr. N, and on Mr. N's behalf, he just pulled the time with the devotees, and then finally said he's not following up or he's not helping the devotees in any way. So of course, then as a master stroke, Srila Prabhupada, before, of course, at this point of time, as part of his tour, he came back to India, he came back to Mumbai, and then before going on another world tour, Srila Prabhupada established Sri Radha Rasbihari in that temple, in that speck of land. Basically, devotees were already occupied the land, and they were constructing a makeshift temple. And at this point of time, he brought Sri Radha Rasbihari there, installed them, he did a small cornerstone laying ceremony, and in front of everyone, he told to Radha Ras Bihariji that please stay here. I promise you, I'll build you a temple here. This was a promise that Srila Prabhupada gave to Shri Radha Ras Bihari, and on that particular day, and of course today we know wonderful, magnificent Jew temple resides with Shri Radha Ras Bihari living in there, and how that came to be, it will unfold as we go through in the next hour or so, the next half hour. So at this point of time, yes, he built the thing. And Giriraj Maharaj is still not able to negotiate with Mr. N. He's still trying to talk to him, but the Mr. N is giving different circumstances or different excuses, and just postponing giving the deed to the devotees. Yes. And then at this point, Prabhupada comes up with another beautiful point. He says that he tells on a call to the devotees that you put a newspaper advertisement saying that ISKCON has entered into a land deed with Mr. N and purchase of this land, and advertise it in the newspapers. And at that point of time, there was no social media existing, so it's primarily the newspapers was the only way by which people got to know every news, and it was one of the best ways to reach out to the people in general. So with that, Prabhupada made the devotees put an advertisement in the newspaper saying that ISKCON has entered into a land agreement with Mr. N at Juhu area. This 5-acre land we have purchased from Mr. N. So this advertisement was put, and this news was published in the newspaper then. And this enraged Mr. N even further. He thought that, okay, these devotees are naive, we can play around with them, and just get away with it. But he did not see that he was playing with the pure devotee here, and Srila Prabhupada was strong businessman as well. So he was, businessman in the sense for Krishna. He had promised this land for Krishna, and therefore he was trying to do everything that he can to get this land for Krishna and to build his house and his temple there. And so at this point, what happens is Mr. N brings in 3 more of his friends there. One is Mr. Matre, who is the chairman of the board of schools. He has a lot of connection. And then another Mr. Tambe, who is an MLA, and one more person, Mr. Rane, who's kind of a tantric guru or a black magician. He's trying to bring all of these people and trying to get more and more strength to push against the devotees, and he wants the devotees to slowly vacate the place. And so when we put this advertisement out, these devotees put this advertisement out, Mr. Matre got a lot of pamphlets printed out saying that, okay, in the pamphlet he started putting all wrong information about ISKCON and saying that ISKCON is a bogus organization, and he started trying to publicize that information all around to people to negate the effect that the newspaper ad from ISKCON had made. Then they were slowly trying to bring in all hoodlums around that area, and they were our devotees were staying there, women, our Matajis were staying there, and they were being kind of in some way they were scared to even go out because they were being threatened day in and day out in this circumstance. Finally, Srila Prabhupada again called the devotees and said, okay, let's file a criminal case against Mr. N, because now he's starting to cause more and more harm towards the devotees. So let's file a criminal case towards him. And then this was filed. When this was filed, Mr. N became even more enraged, and he started pressurizing more and more to try to get the devotees out of that place. And of course, among all the devotees, he was getting, till now he was playing, talking nice to the devotees and trying to push them away, but then he started becoming very, very strong and really kind of starting to blaspheme the devotees and push them away. But there was only one devotee with whom Mr. N was nice. It was His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu, and this was because Shyam Sundar Prabhu had a beautiful daughter called Saraswati, and Mr. N was fond of Saraswati. So just because of the daughter, he was very friendly with Shyam Sundar Prabhu. So he began to talk to Shyam Sundar Prabhu in a nice way, and finally it was decided that Prabhupada was going to come to Hyderabad, and at the same time Mr. N was going to be in Hyderabad. So then it was fixed up that in Hyderabad we will meet and we will try to come up with a solution for this issue. And so so at this point of time, they decided to meet in Hyderabad. And at this point, Mr. N came with another big guru who was kind of, he wanted to bring a guru to kind of give him more strength, more of a black magician type of guru. And they sat together with Prabhupada, and then they started to discuss as to, when Prabhupada told him, we have already given you this much money, we've already, whatever we have promised, our part we have done, and we are now in the land. Now please do your part and fulfill your promise and give us the deed, and then we'll start paying the installments. But he was just not accepting to it, and then he wanted more and more and more money. But of course, because Srila Prabhupada has promised this land to Sri Radha Ras Bihari Ji, he agreed to most of the conditions that was set up by Mr. N. And the money was also, he also added to, also agreed to give more money on that aspect. And so everything was renegotiated. They were ready to sign the lease, and then there was a wonderful feast that was arranged in Hyderabad there, and everyone had the prasadam. And then this magical guru who was trying to give some strength to Mr. N, he said, okay, everyone is tired, let us, he said to Srila Prabhupada, you are tired, you should take some rest. Then everyone agreed, and this guru went off to take rest. Mr. N went to take rest, and then Prabhupada said to his disciples, see, if a person says that you need to take rest, that means he wants to take rest. So seems like he's going to be he's going to be taking rest and won't be available. So bring Mr. N back here, I want to talk to him again. And that's when the disciples bring back Mr. N to meet Srila Prabhupada. And then now Srila Prabhupada renegotiates most of the terms, makes it as nice as possible. And then Mr. N, without that guru being there, he agrees. Of course, we still are giving a little bit more, but Mr. N agrees to this renegotiated deeds things, and they say, okay, we'll sign an agreement, and later on we'll get the deed. So this is agreed upon, everything is nice, and now Srila Prabhupada goes to Jaipur. From Hyderabad, he goes to Jaipur for a preaching mission. At this point of time in Mumbai, as soon as Mr. N went back to Mumbai from Hyderabad, he again went back on his word. He again started to give excuses to the devotees, saying that, no, I'm not going to give this land, no, I'm not going to give this deed, actually you guys should vacate this land, and things like that. And it was completely become very, very tough for the devotees there. And finally, finally they in a dire circumstances, they said, we are going to cancel this agreement. And somehow in Jaipur, Srila Prabhupada, who was there, he started to get a feeling that that there is something wrong that is happening in Mumbai. So he wanted someone very, very confident, or whom he can be confident on, to go and stop whatever bad was going to happen in Mumbai. So there, at this point of time, Vishakha Mataji was there. Vishakha Mataji, we know, who's one of the most wonderful photographers of ISKCON. Like most of Srila Prabhupada's photographs, she and Yaduvara Prabhu might have taken. So this same Vishakha Mataji, who was there in Jaipur with Prabhupada at that time, and it was late in the night, around 10 o'clock, but still Prabhupada told her that although you're a lady, but still I want to, because I have full confidence in you, please rush to Mumbai right now and go and tell them not to cancel the agreement in any way. But by the time Vishakha Mataji reaches there, they had already cancelled the agreement which Srila Prabhupada had negotiated in Hyderabad. And at this point of time, Maharaj actually, I see it's Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, I believe, he calls up Srila Prabhupada and says that, Prabhupada, we have cancelled the deed. And then Prabhupada says, then everything is finished. Then he hangs up the phone. But again, he later on says, he calls up the devotees and says, do not vacate the land now. Okay, we have cancelled the deed or cancelled the agreement, but let's not vacate the land. Let him give back all the money that he has taken. Let Mr. N give back all the money that he has taken from us. Then we will vacate the land. And so saying that, he kept the phone. And of course, later on, Mr. N again was speaking to Prabhupada. Prabhupada came to Mumbai, and this conversation was going on. And at one point of time, Mr. N really spoke very, very badly to Srila Prabhupada. He abused him in different words. And of course, he said that you guys should vacate this land. Then of course, Prabhupada said, you are trying to cheat us. Please, if you don't want us to give us the land, then give us the money. As soon as you give the money, our devotees will vacate the land, and we will be gone from here. Although Prabhupada was internally very unhappy that if this might be losing the opportunity to give Radharasi Bihariji their temple, but still he said that, okay, you give us the money back and then we'll go. At this point of time, he hurled a lot of not so great words towards such a pure devotee of Krishna. Of course, Srila Prabhupada did not tell anything there. Prabhupada just stood there, and of course he just prayed and remembered Krishna. And the next morning, for some reason, this Mr. N gets a massive heart attack. He's taken to a hospital, and he passes away. So Mr. N passes away. Now there's Mrs. N who's present. Now she takes charge. She's not, of course, as strong as Mr. N, but still she also takes on the aspect that, okay, I'm not going to be giving away this land to these devotees. And so she starts to, again with the help of Mr. Matre, Mr. Nane, and Mr. Thambe, she tries to start putting pressure on the devotees slowly but strongly to try to make the devotees leave. At this point, this is June of 1973, probably June 1st. What happens here is Mrs. N takes the help of the municipality corporation, and she gets a stay order from the court, and gets the municipality and gets bulldozers and everything else into the land to try to destroy the temple, the temple that was built there already for Sri Radha Ras Bihari. So this municipal corporation comes in. They start to pull down the temple which was there, slowly destroying different things that was constructed. Devotees are pushed. Even the Matajis and the ladies are almost caught by the hair and pushed around very strongly, very inhumanly. Our devotees are treated. Like we can see, they went through a lot of thing to serve Srila Prabhupada, the earlier disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So they were all treated very badly, and they were almost going to come to take off the altar on top of Radha Ras Bihari Ji. Of course, there was another devotee, Maithili Mataji, who's tried to stop them, and she was also pushed around. And then there is one friend of Srila Prabhupada, at least one good friend of ISKCON, Mr. P.L. Sethi, who used to live close by. He came with a gun to try to protect the devotees. And Mr. P.L. Sethi, he had a good thing. He called up Bal Thackeray directly, Bala Sahib Thackeray, who was a politician, upcoming politician there, and he was establishing the Shiv Sena party. So he called up Bal Thackeray and told them that this Hindu temple is being destroyed, and Bal Thackeray came in to help. He actually called the municipal commissioner's office, and the municipal commissioner's office gave a direct order, and then the order was someone came running with that order to the land, and they stopped destruction of the temple in the right time, like just about the time when the altar on top of Sri Radha Ras Bihari Ji, Radha Ras Bihari Ji would have got hurt if not for this. And they stopped it, and they said that, okay, this Hindu temple cannot be destroyed for now, and that thing was stopped. Then, of course, they went back to court. This Mrs. N went back to court, and there was a Friday afternoon. She went back to court. Even the ISKCON, our devotees, went to the court. Then the lawyer, of course, the judge said that this is Friday evening. We will decide this case on Monday morning, and whether the temple should be there or temple should not be there, because the Mrs. N was trying to put a case that there should not be any temple existing in this particular place. And so she put that order, and then the judge said, yeah, we'll decide this on Monday morning, because everything is we are shutting down today. So it was a Friday afternoon, and it was raining. It was June 1 or 1973, raining very heavily that weekend. But on Monday morning, the court will adjourn again, and they will going to decide what will happen with this particular piece of land. At this point of time, Srila Prabhupada said, this is to the devotees, this is a very good time. What you all should do is continue, and parts of the temple were already destroyed, right? So Prabhupada told them that continue and make the temple, complete the makeshift temple before Monday. So devotees started off Friday afternoon, through the rain that was happening through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So pretty much Friday evening, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday through the day, Sunday through the night, they all worked continuously, putting all their efforts, and actually completed the temple before it was Monday morning. And when Monday morning the judge came in and was going to say whether the temple should be there or not, they saw that the temple is already there. Then the judge simply said, the temple is already there, it cannot be taken away, the case is dismissed. So within basically 2 days, 2 nights, and actually 3 nights, this mainstay temple was complete, and the judge told them, okay, what is built, temple will remain, and the case was dismissed. And this was a very, very big victory to Srila Prabhupada. This temple will continue to exist in this particular land. And afterwards, this became a major headline news in all the newspapers, that there is a Hindu temple now coming up in this particular land, and then this made it into all the newspapers, and this gave amazing publicity for ISKCON throughout of Mumbai, and all the people around came to know that there is a Hindu temple coming up here. Shri Radha Rasa Bihari is going to be is there, and slowly wonderful advertisement happened about ISKCON's good activities. At least people came to know the good, all the perfect side of ISKCON, which was, of course, everything was good. This was, and as Srila Prabhupada remembered our previous day only said, this was going to be good for ISKCON. It finally happened that way. Now, with mounting pressure, with mounting pressure, Mrs. N finally gave in. Actually, what happened before that is all these other, of course, Mr. N had already passed away. Now there was Mr. Matre, Mr. Tambe, and Mr. Rane, who were also still supporting Mrs. N. Now, Mr. Matre, who was initially put up these pamphlets and spread all ill words about ISKCON. Actually, his illegitimate or illicit affairs in the school with a teacher came on to light, and he was completely kind of ostracized from the community, and in a very bad way he gave up his life. Then Mr. Tambe also, he was paralyzed waist down, and he could not even get up from his bed throughout his life, and he just passed away like that. And then there was Mr. Rane, who was the black magician, who tried to do a lot of black magic and tried to pull down Srila Prabhupada. Also, he was laughing when the devotees were being evicted from that temple. He himself, actually, as part of his own black magic, one day he just put fuel on himself and lit a fire, and he actually burned down right outside that piece of land. And it's just all one by one, all the demons, or at least these demoniac people, were slowly getting away. Mrs. N was losing her pressure, and finally she agreed that, okay, at this point of time, I'm going to be giving this land to Prabhupada. So then they all arrived in the municipal office, and Srila Prabhupada was there, Mrs. N was there, and I think Giriraj Maharaj writes in his book that this complete silence, it was like two major superpowers signing a treaty. Like they were, because it was such a big struggle overall to get this piece of over on this piece of land. But of course, from Prabhupada's side, it was everything was done in a valid way. But of course, we were being ISKCON devotees were being trying to cheated by this whole Mr. N, Mrs. N gang. Finally, everything was coming to a standstill, and it was getting over. So they were all seated. Mrs. N signed the papers, and then Srila Prabhupada, touched her head and said that, you are like my daughter. I will take care of you for your life. Do not worry. And right after a few minutes, Mrs. N started crying profusely, and people, of course, devotees thought that she was repenting for whatever she has done. But later on, we come to know that previous day only she got, like, the ISKCON devotees, like, we had got this entire offer on entire piece of land for 19 lakh rupees overall, after all the negotiations and everything else. But then she had already got an offer of 74 lakhs for the same piece of land. But because she was in so much of disturbance because of all the things that are happening, she did not make a decision. And here she had already now signed the paper, and she was crying that, oh, I'm losing so much money. But so she did not realize that what she has given to Krishna here. But of course, now that same piece of land which Srila Prabhupada bought for 19 lakhs rupees, it's probably in hundreds of crores, and such a wonderful, massive, beautiful ISKCON Juhu stands up there with Shri Radha Rasa Bihari Ji there, and Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji also there. Amazing temple is built up there. And after all this thing, Prabhupada writes basically, in Krishna consciousness there are no problems. That because he's positivity personified. Like, he went through such a massive, such a tough time. I mean, he was preaching all over the world, he was traveling all over the world, and still he was fighting this thing primarily because he promised this land to Krishna, and he wanted to have this land for Krishna. So finally he was able to succeed in it, and that shows the positivity of Srila Prabhupada. So yeah, yes, that's one of my things. And you see, so whatever challenges he faced, whatever losses he may have faced in businesses, he went through many failures during his personal life before he came to America. But still, he had this complete positivity in his mind, and with that, he went forward and moved forward, and brought us all this particular amazing temple in ISKCON, Juhu. That's like a very bad narration of this entire story, but this story can be very nicely. It can nourish our hearts if you read actually the book. I'll build you a temple. I'll build you the temple by His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj. So I recommend all the devotees to read it. I want to read that. This is whatever I heard. I'm trying to repeat here for my own purification. So this is where we will make a short stop. I'll ask if anyone here has any questions or comments before we move on to the next part of the things.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Srikumar Prabhu. Just let me quickly check if there are any
Sure.
comments online.
Sure, sir.
I don't see any comments, but I liked your comment you made in the beginning, that for non-devotees, Maya keeps saying that, don't surrender to Krishna, but for devotees, she keeps saying that postpone surrendering to Krishna.
Yes.
And in this story with Giriraj Swami, right?
Yes.
That was a wonderful example, right? That he told Srila Prabhupada that you keep this check, that will help you in the movement, and I am also with you.
Right.
So so it was more than just surrendering to Krishna, I would say, basically. He surrendered himself, and he surrendered also his, the blank check means pretty much, all the wealth, basically. That's what was his intention. I don't know if that happened or not. But, and then this is a wonderful narration, Prabhu. It's not a bad narration. I think you went into the details and so many things that happened during that time. And, the demoniac people, they can go to any length, basically. When they see the devotees, oh, these people are, so they immediately, what comes to their mind is these people are simple and we can cheat them, right? The first thing when anyone sees a devotee, right, non-devotees typically, they say, oh, these people are very simple-minded, we can cheat them. Basically, that thing comes in their mind.
So another aspect, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for reflecting on those 2 points. First point which you reflected on was, for non-devotees, Maya says don't surrender. But for devotees, yes, I definitely see in my own personal life as well. Somehow or other, life in Krishna consciousness moves forward. But there are some devotees who are very sincere. They perfectly surrender to Krishna and move forward. But at least I've seen for myself, like it becomes like somehow we keep postponing surrendering to Krishna. We like the sincerity in like the simple things of ABCD, association, taking association of devotees, reading books, chanting Krishna's name, and following strictly Krishna Prasad, eating only Krishna Prasad. The simple things also get tougher and tougher. But that's the aspect of Maya. Somehow he says, follow, you're good and great in bhakti. Just do it later. Just do it tomorrow. Just do it tomorrow, and then that tomorrow keeps moving forward, and in a very magical way she keeps us away from Krishna. So that's where that's where our Guru or Srila Prabhupada comes into picture. That's where every Sunday lecture of that we come and hear in ISV, every Saturday morning lecture that we come and hear in ISV, like every Saturday, every Sunday when Ashika Prabhu is there, our Guru is kind of responding or reminding us again and again that this is Krishna, this is the way to connect to Krishna, and you connect to Krishna and do the surrender right now. Do it right now. And that continuous remembrance or continuous reminder makes us, makes us slowly actually makes it easier for us to make that connection, put away Maya, and actually surrender to Krishna by accepting it.
Yeah, you said it rightly. I mean, the same thing here. I am no exception. I'm just like you. I
No.
also have a lot of problems. So, Prabhu, are you planning to do anything? We don't have to continue till 8:30.
Okay.
If you are
Yeah, we have
thinking you are done, there are no
no, we have
comments.
a
Yeah.
second part.
Oh,
Actually.
sure. Yes. That's great.
Yes, thank
That's great.
you. I wanted to stop to kind of take some reflections and things.
Yes.
But thank you for sharing this. Next, we
Thank
go into one more aspect of Srila Prabhupada as to how this is. So I'll continue and stop here. Let me see. Yeah. So, how we can give back to Krishna? I mean, Srila Prabhupada, this is what Guru Dakshina we can do. Srila Prabhupada says, at least as I heard, this is only two things. Just please accept what I have given you and give this Krishna consciousness to others. So, accept that gift that I am giving you, and second, give it to others. So, these are the two simple ways in which we can express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, and not just on his Vyasa Puja day make an offering to him, but throughout the year we can do these simple two things. One is accept what Prabhupada is giving to us through via his books and via his lectures, and second is to give this out to everyone around us, because it is only by the mercy, at least even in my life, I can consider, if I was brought into Krishna consciousness many years ago in Penn State University. If the devotee there in Penn State University did not go out of his way to give me prasadam, I would have simply been a regular, student there, and went after money and went after a job and things like that. But it's because the devotee went out of his way to give me prasadam, to call me and give me an opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita and get an association. Krishna consciousness came into my life. Similarly, it's kind of calling for all of us that we express our gratitude to our Siksha Gurus, our founding Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and our Path Prataksha Gurus, by actually distributing or giving this what we have gained. Basically, whatever we have gained from as a gift from Prabhupada, we have to gift it to others, and that happens via different ways, via book distribution, by giving out these books of Srila Prabhupada, or by preaching, giving talks, and by helping in the temple, different ways, in kirtan, sankirtan, in multiple ways we can actually give back to this movement and to Srila Prabhupada. So that's one way we can express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, and not just on one day of the year, but through all the days of the year. So with that, we'll go through one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is another way which brings out amazing qualities of Srila Prabhupada. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1, Canto 1, verse number 13. This is Canto 1, chapter 13, verse number 10. Prabhuji, would you like to share that, if possible?
Yes, Prabhu, let me bring up.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 13, verse number 10.
13. Okay, let me share. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. So we will try to repeat this verse. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 13, verse number 10. Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas, Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho, Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani, Swantastena Gadabrita. We will read it one more time. Bhavadvida Bhagavatas Tirti Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani Swantastena Gadabrita. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This translation goes at: My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart, you turn all places to places of pilgrimage. If it's can we go through the purport as well, please? If you can please scroll down. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead is omnipresent by His diverse potencies everywhere, just as the power of electricity is distributed everywhere within space. Similarly, the Lord's omnipresence is perceived and manifested by His unalloyed devotees like Vidura, just as electricity is manifested in an electric bulb. A pure devotee like Vidura always feels the presence of the Lord everywhere. He sees everything in the potency of the Lord and the Lord in everything. The holy places all over the earth are meant for purifying the polluted consciousness of the human being by an atmosphere surcharged with the presence of the Lord's unalloyed devotees. If anyone visits a holy place, he must search out the pure devotees residing in such holy place, take lessons from them, try to apply such instructions in practical life, and thus gradually prepare oneself for the ultimate salvation, going back to Godhead. To go to some holy place of pilgrimage does not mean only to take a bath in the Ganges or Yamuna or to visit the temples situated in those places. One should also find representatives of Vidura who have no desire in life save and except to serve the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is always with such pure devotees because of their unalloyed service, which is without any tinge of fruitive action or utopian speculation. They are in the actual service of the Lord, specifically by the process of hearing and chanting. The pure devotees hear from the authorities and chant, sing and write the glories of the Lord. Mahamuni Vyasadeva heard from Narada and then he chanted in writing. Sukadeva Goswami studied from his father and he described it to Parikshit. That is the way of Srimad Bhagavatam. So by their actions, the pure devotees of the Lord can render any place into a place of pilgrimage, and the holy places are worth the name only on their account. Such pure devotees are able to rectify the polluted atmosphere of any place, and what to speak of a holy place rendered unholy by the questionable actions of interested persons who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of the reputation of a holy place. Yes, thank you. So here I will read the translation once again. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified, because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart. You turn all places into places of pilgrimage. This particular verse, of course, here is referring to Vidura, where, because he has visited all these, he's whichever place he visits is becomes a holy place. But this also applies very much to Srila Prabhupada. As we can see, he was in his late 70s. He was in Vrindavan, but from Vrindavan he travels to Mumbai, and from Mumbai via the Jaladuta he came to New York, which was the most materialistic place on earth at that point of time. And in that particular place, Srila Prabhupada came in and sat under the Tompkins Square under the tree and chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And just by the presence of Srila Prabhupada there and his singing and his pure devotion, automatically he started to attract so many wonderful souls, and they became his disciples. And then the entire International Society for Krishna Consciousness began in New York, and in 1965, and then it is now present all over the world. So just by his presence, Srila Prabhupada transformed New York into a holy place. And then after that, one of the devotees moved to San Francisco, and then Prabhupada later on at a point of time he was invited to San Francisco, and then Srila Prabhupada came to San Francisco, which is like right next door to us here. He came into Haight-Ashbury, which was the place of complete drugs and LSDs and drug addicts, and there were millions of such hippies present there in Haight-Ashbury, and even the government was feeling threatened in the sense that these hippies would take over that place. But then when Srila Prabhupada came, he came and he started them. He was called to chant in the Mantra Rock concert, and then slowly he started giving classes, and the devotees started helping him, and the entire he transformed the hippies into happies. And the first Rath Yatra outside of India, other than in India, the Jagannath Rath Yatra happens in Puri, and the first Rath Yatra outside of India happened in San Francisco, and that was by the mercy and the presence of Srila Prabhupada. So by his presence, he transformed San Francisco, and he renamed it as New Jagannath Puri, and that's where the first Jagannath Rath Yatra happened. And now we know Jagannath Rath Yatra happens all over the world, in many places around the world. It happens in LA and so many other places in the United States of America, as well as in many other countries, and that's just by the presence of Srila Prabhupada. And also by his presence, we see like he transformed Vrindavan. Like in West Virginia, he created a wonderful, beautiful place, and he called it New Vrindavan. Again, there, amazing palace, temple is present, and a palace, of course, a palace of gold has been constructed there in glorification of Srila Prabhupada. And many other places around the world, like New Dwarka, of course, in Los Angeles, Srila Prabhupada came, and that Los Angeles transformed into New Dwarkadam, and there we have Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish residing there with so many wonderful devotees, such amazing Rath Yatra happening, so many books being distributed. Of course, in California we have Shri Radha Madan Mohanji, in the Silicon Valley we have Shri Radha Madan Mohanji here, with so much book distribution happening. And then there is New Golokadam, there is so many different wonderful places, Radha Desh, and multiple places have come up all over the world just by the mercy and the potency of Srila Prabhupada. Just as this verse describes, just by the presence of Prabhupada and his followers, all these places transformed from being materialistic to being completely spiritual abodes, where now even today, souls who are wandering and who want some kind of spirituality, as soon as they come into such place, they get connected, and it's blessing, and like it has brought all of us into Krishna consciousness. Another wonderful place is the Bhaktivedanta Manor, where George Harrison got connected to Srila Prabhupada via Shyam Sundar Prabhu and Malati Devi and all the other wonderful devotees who went there, and with him so many amazing devotees came up even in London as well. So this verse kind of brings up the aspect that just by the presence of a pure devotee, any place can be transformed into a spiritual abode. That's why, again, going back to the 5 or the principles which Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned as to how it can, those 64 principles that can arise Krishna Prem in our lives, of those 64, 5 are most important, and of those 5, one of them is to reside in a holy place like Mathura and Vrindavan. So, but by the mercy and presence of Srila Prabhupada, his magnanimous nature, he has created Mathura, Vrindavan all over the world. So wherever now, it is such a beautiful thing that whichever city we may go in, we will find a temple of ISKCON temple there, wonderful devotees, and we'll feel like home. That's why it said that Srila Prabhupada created a house in which the entire world can live in. So he pretty much created holy places all over the world, so we can remain in the vicinities of the temples we are in, and get the mercy of the devotees, association of the devotees, hear from Srila Prabhupada, and purify ourselves day in and day out, and become successful in devotional service. So that's another aspect I wanted to bring out on how just by the presence of Prabhupada, we are all getting an opportunity to come into Krishna consciousness and rise up in Krishna consciousness. That's one thing. And then I wanted to conclude with a few snippets from Srila Prabhupada. Let me go back to sharing. Hope you guys can see. This is the Prabhupada with his disciples. One thing which attracted me, the most which I wanted to quickly share, is this particular purport. This meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which Prabhupada himself gives. I mean, we have been speaking so much, but about Prabhupada, it will be wonderful if we can end by hearing also from Prabhupada himself. So I would like to share these 2 quick snippets with you all for your pleasure.
So you vibrate in service of the Lord, Hare Krishna means, O Krishna, O the energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. This is the meaning of Hare. It is not anything. O my Lord Krishna, and O the energy of Krishna, pranayama especially. Finally, both of you engage me in your service.
So that's a simple thing about Srila Prabhupada, where he said that, "O energy of Krishna, O my Lord Krishna, please engage me in your service." Simply we are asking for Radha and Krishna to engage in his service. The other one is this beautiful purport of Hare Krishna Mahamantra which Prabhupada has given. It's always an all-time favorite. It always reminds us wonderfully of the essence behind the Mahamantra. So we'd like to just go through this one, please.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. This transcendental vibration by chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the sublime method for reviving our Krishna consciousness. As living spiritual soul, we are all originally Krishna conscious entities, but due to our association with matter from time immemorial, our consciousness is now polluted by material atmosphere. In this polluted concept of life, we are all trying to exploit the resources of material nature, but actually we are becoming more and more entangled in our complexities. This illusion is called Maya, our hard struggle for existence, for winning over the stringent laws of material nature. This illusory struggle against material nature can at once be stopped by revival of our Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. This consciousness is the original energy of living entity. When we hear the transcendental vibration, this consciousness is revived, and the process is recommended by authorities for this age. By practical experience also, we can perceive that by chanting this Mahamantra or the great chanting for deliverance, one can at once feel transcendental ecstasy from the spiritual stratum. When one is factually on the plane of spiritual understanding, surpassing the stages of sense, mind and intelligence, one is situated on transcendental plane. This chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is directly enacted from the spiritual platform, surpassing all lower status of consciousness, namely sensual, mental and intellectual. There is no need of understanding the language of the mantra, nor there is any need of mental speculation, nor any intellectual adjustment for chanting this Mahamantra. It springs automatically from the spiritual platform, and as such, anyone can take part in this transcendental sound vibration without any previous qualification and dance in ecstasy. We have seen it practically. Even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. The chanting should be heard from the lips of a pure devotee of the Lord, so that immediate effect can be achieved. As far as possible, chanting from the lips of non-devotee should be avoided, as much as milk touched by the lips of a serpent causes poisonous effect. The word Hara is the form of addressing the energy of the Lord. Both Krishna and Rama are form of addressing directly the Lord, and they mean the highest pleasure, eternal. Hara is the supreme pleasure potency of the Lord. This potency, when addressed as Hare, helps us in reaching the supreme Lord. The material energy called as Maya is also one of the multi-potencies of the Lord, as much as we are also marginal potency of the Lord. The living entities are described as superior energy than matter. When the superior energy is in contact with the inferior energy, it becomes an incompatible situation. But when the supreme marginal potency is in contact with spiritual potency, Hara, it becomes the happy, normal condition of living entity. The three words, namely Hara, Krishna and Rama, are transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra, and the chanting is spiritual call for the Lord and his internal energy, Hara, for giving protection to the conditioned soul. The chanting is exactly like genuine cry by the child for mother. Mother Hara helps in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari or Krishna, and the Lord reveals himself to such sincere devotee. No other means, therefore, of spiritual realization is as effective in this age as chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. So with this, I wanted to, before we break off, just wanted to also take an opportunity to see if anybody else wants to share a word or two or a line in glorification of Srila Prabhupada, so that it's a mutual thing. Prabhuji, anyone wants to share to thank Srila Prabhupada to glorify Prabhupada?
Prabhuji, I don't see anyone, but I would definitely like to thank Srila Prabhupada from my heart, that and his books specifically, because this is my personal belief that I had that book in my shelf for many years. I got the book in Tucson, Arizona, the ISKCON there. And then I kept the book in my shelf for many years. I did so many things, Gyan Yoga, Raj Yoga, and Ashtanga, and finally one day something happened, and then I was reminded of that book lying in the shelf, and I read that book end to end, because I could not go to work because of the situation I was in. So I think even if someone keeps those books at home, it has a power, because it is a deity. Those books are, Srila Prabhupada's books are deities. Without that, I would not have been, come in contact with ISKCON and have a wonderful spiritual master who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He is very tolerant and compassionate himself, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhu. So and then for that I'm grateful to Srila Prabhupada's books. More than even grateful to Srila Prabhupada, I'm grateful to Srila Prabhupada's books, because without his books, this would not have been possible in my life. That's what I would like to share.
Thank you so much for this. That helps a lot, because that's just Prabhupada and Sri's books are the way by which we can strongly connect to Krishna consciousness, and also strongly connect to him and his spiritual and his wonderful disciples. And that's the binding thread for all of us for, as many say, for the 10,000 years to come. For our lifetime, we can be fully dependent on this book.
This Kali Yuga, this special Kali Yuga.
Yes. That I want to thank and express my gratitude to you, Prabhuji, for hosting this session,
for speaking,
allowing me to be here. Please forgive me for any mistakes on my end. I know I'm not at all qualified to be here, but just trying to be here to feel from my own heart and do a little bit of very grateful for this opportunity to be here. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Ramadan.
Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srikumar Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu, again.
Thank you very much
for giving this class. I particularly like the audio, the videos and the audios you bring, because we couldn't directly hear the the sound vibration from Srila Prabhupada. They're very purifying. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for coming and attending this class. online, taking time from your busy lives. I know that you guys are online listening to this. Thanks a lot again. So we will close this session and we'll meet again next online. Okay, so next on class will be actually next Wednesday. Class will be in the temple because we will have a wonderful celebration of a great devotee of Lord, the greatest devotee of the Lord actually, Srimati Radharani. So we'll celebrate her appearance day next Wednesday. So please come to the temple.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.